Alright, so today I'll be going over the steps to add authentication to your Android app. So here in front of me I have a simple Android app. It's just one activity. My layout file just has like a couple text fields and a couple buttons to detail like the email and password login. So to begin, you really just want to add Firebase authentication to your project. So this will give you access to like specific classes Firebase made for authentication. If you haven't already done this for your project, you just go to Tools, Firebase, scroll down to Email and Password. Under Authentication, you first want to connect to Firebase, which will take a couple seconds. Also, I'm only able to do this because I'm logged in with my primary email account in Android Studio. If you're not logged in already, then they might ask you to log in, and you should do that. So right now it's registering Android clients and setting up the Firebase instance for you. So once that's done, you can add Firebase authentication to your app. Basically what this does is just edits your Gradle file to add the dependencies. You could do that manually, but this just does it automatically. And then once you've done that, first you want to go to your Firebase console. I'm in the wrong account. This will take a couple seconds, and then open up the new project that was made for your account. In this case, mine was Android Firebase Auth demo. In your case, it'll be just whatever app you make. And then you go into authentication, and right now you haven't set up any sign-in methods, so you need to do that. So default, you can have like just email password. I mean, if you want, you can have different sign-in methods, but for the purposes of this tutorial, I'm just going to do email password. So once you've done that, you can continue on with the app. If you've already set up Firebase with your app and you already have like a database and everything set up, you can just go to your build.gradle file and add this line to your app. So right now I just have like a really bare bones app, but this can extend to basically anything you want. So first, in your Android or in the Java class for your actual activity, you want to create a reference to your Firebase auth object. Basically what this does is like this creates an instance of your authentication instance and allows you to access like all the methods that you need to actually sign in and sign up and log in. So I'm just gonna instantiate this in my onCreate method, and I'll also add my my references to all of the edit text and buttons that I have in my activity. So private. Let me make sure. Yep. Alright, so now that I've declared these at the top of my file, I can just go ahead in my onCreate function and instantiate them. So basically what you want now is to actually have your login and sign up buttons do stuff. So my method for uh, having those, defining those actions is to implement the Onclicklistener interface at the top of my file, and then writing an onclick function for each of my methods. So basically, like, this is just a generic onclick listener. You have to make sure that you're using the right method for the right button. So first I'm going to set my onclick listener, and then I'll have a switch case for the ID of the view that I actually clicked. And then if it's the login button, then I'll do something, and if it's the sign up button, then I'll do something else. Alright, so now that I have the basic structure of my app, now I can actually add the Firebase specific stuff. So I'm just gonna have, so first, like, Firebase, like, let's say you've already logged into the app or signed in, it'll keep the user signed in even if you exit the app. So first you want to see if you actually have a user. So I just check that in my onCreate function. Then I want to create a function that says handle logged in, right? So this could be whatever you want. In my case, I don't really have like a huge app, so I'm just going to make a toast whenever I detect that someone is logged in. So private. But honestly, like, whatever you have in your handle logged in can be whatever you want. Like, let's say you want to direct into a certain activity or like a web page or basically whatever you want. You just want to make sure that if your user is logged in, then you handle that. Now, suppose the user isn't logged in and they do need to log in, then you have to handle that case too. So I'll just make a login function, and I'll pass in the email and password that the user typed. So string email. Oops. So Firebase actually has like a method for handling people trying to sign in with an email and password, and because we've defined email password as a legitimate way to sign into our app, we can just use that method. And sure, this will sign in to your app, but then maybe you want to actually like do something once you've signed in. So we add a non-complete listener, which when I'm done and if I've successfully logged in, then I will do whatever I want to do when someone's logged in. And this is basically all you need to do for login. And sign up is very similar. So I'll get the email and password the user inputted. And then I will just call the signup function. Yeah, so the signup function that Firebase Auth defines for you is called create user with email and password. So I just pass in email and password, and then I make sure to handle a successful login. So basically, like once you sign up, it'll automatically log in for you. So you'll want to handle that as if you just logged in normally. So yeah, basically that's. Oh, okay. Well, simple bug. You can't define the same variables in a switch statement, so I'll just put that outside. And yeah, this looks like it should be good. Let's see how it runs on a phone. It's going to take a little bit to fire up the emulator. So basically what we've run through is basically email and password sign in, but you can extend this to basically any authentication scheme that Firebase provides for you. So you've gotten a taste of that in the actual sign in methods page. So you can sign in with phone number, Google, Facebook, Twitter, GitHub, OAuth logins, and they have instructions that in the documentation. For the most part, you'll probably stick with email and password because that's easiest to deal with, but they certainly allow you to access like Google or Facebook OAuth if you want to grow your app and make it more accessible to everyone in the future. Yeah, so let's see, test at test.com, and then my password is going to be password, terrible password, and then I want to sign up. Ooh, I'm logged in. So let's look at my users, and amazing, I've signed up. So let's say I want to quit the app and clear its data. I have to go to apps, and then where is it? Oh, there it is at the top. So basically what I'm doing now is because you're logged in, it'll save that data for you. So like even if you close the app, it will remember that a user is logged in and keep them logged in the next time you open the app. So what I want to do is clear out the storage and clear out the data. What this will do is this will flush out any login data and it'll make sure that no one's logged in the next time you open the app. So let's open this up, and then let's see. Let's try logging in with our new user, and I've successfully logged in. I hope this has been useful, and